We don't want to be a small-town museum. Let's go big.
In the museum world, the most important element are the great museums in New York, Philadelphia, and Washington. And in order to get their attention, you have to do something well. You don't have to be big, but you have to do it well. And the Meyer Building, of course, attracted so much international attention, and New York Times was beside itself over the quality of this design.
And also, just the fact that it was happening in Atlanta.
And that it was happening in Atlanta. We had the support of the big institutions, support which we had never had before.
That's right.
The Rings exhibition put us on the map because Atlanta was the site of the Olympics and people were coming here for athletic events. But who ever thought of Atlanta as a cultural center and an art institution? And here we brought in these works from around the world that were just unbelievable, famous, iconic works that are in every textbook, every art history book, and here we had them in Atlanta.
The Rings showed the museum leadership that they could make a big exhibition work. Before we started having big exhibits, besides not being able to support the smaller exhibits as well, we didn't ever have any money to buy anything. Now the museum has money to buy art, and that's really as much as, to me, as exciting as anything.
At the very beginning, what we really had was the Haverty collection, and that's what people came to see, and that was pretty much what we had. And then the Crest collection came on board, which was a big boon to us. And since then, the collection has moved steadily forward. And I think probably the biggest, most wonderful surprise was when we got into the field of contemporary art, because that was a big leap forward for the city of Atlanta and for the museum. Forward Arts has always, I think their greatest contribution has been the French Impressionist paintings that they have helped purchase for the museum. That's probably our proudest thing, and the Monet was just the capstone of those.
First year we made about over $100,000 the first year. I thought that was great, and I envisioned that we might go on to become a $250,000 event. Of course, we became a $1 million event in the 10th year, which was not far off track from what the Napa auction had done. The wineries began wanting to come here, and the combination of attracting really good wines and good wineries and famous people began to enable us to show off a little bit. It is really Atlanta's greatest party.
I think that some of the audacity of the High Museum is because of Michael Shapiro. Michael has so many ideas. What about this exhibition? What about this partnership? And his mind is just going a million miles a minute, but at the same time, it's not just ideas. I mean, he is willing to put in the effort, make the connections, make the phone calls, make the visits, to actually make something happen. And then the execution is flawless.
Well, I look back at that journey from what it used to be, the High Museum Richard Meyer building, to the Renzo Piano and Richard Meyer High Museum of today. I would say that it's a sense of great pride that I look at that expansion, because it has brought to our table capabilities that we never dreamed of. And I think we really did answer the call of the 100 plus names that are on those granite slabs out there in front. We did answer their call. We did achieve greatness. We do have a major art focus for Atlanta that the world now recognizes. The opening weekend, what I remember most, of course, is the opening parade where we all sort of proudly marched into the new buildings, but also the 30,000 people that showed up, filled with excitement and curiosity about what we had accomplished here in Atlanta. And Atlanta should be very proud of establishing this major footprint for the arts and culture.
Well, when I think about Louvre Atlanta and what it meant to the High, I think it really put the High on the map, on the international map of art museums. It had such a significance to have a partnership with a destination museum, that people go to Paris and dream of going to the Louvre. And then all of a sudden, we had some of the works of art from the Louvre right here in Atlanta, within the four walls, if you will, of the High Museum.
The High Museum has really evolved to be a museum for the total community, and I have grown to see it evolve into a place that welcomes everyone. The Driscoll Prize dinner events are annual events that are the primary fundraiser for supporting the prize. The prize alternates between an artist and a scholar, and it's an opportunity for us to learn more about the emerging artists in the African American community, as well as the work that scholars are doing.
The museum, it's important that the museum engage young people because they are our future. It's important that they see what we saw when we first came to the museum and be that interested and realize that this is something that is interesting to them, it's worthwhile, and it's fun, and it's applicable to their lives.
I love art. I would have to say it's my favorite subject out of math, science, and social studies. And I like art because we get to express ourselves.
I think as an age group, we're all really interested in art, but we never think that it's so easily accessible to us. And I think the whole idea of having a teen team was to bring teens to realize that it is an accessible place here at the High.
I think by having these programs that reach out to a younger audience, such as the culture shock parties and things like that, it makes the museum a safe place for them to come.
I've brought as many as 250, 300 students all at one time here, and the High Museum has been very accommodating to my needs as a teacher logistically, to my educational needs, to even personalizing visits and materials to my purposes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.